YouTube merchandise and merch is a thing, much like video game merchandise and merch, in the fact that the Sidemen, the lovable Sidemen, the KSI himself, may produce a high quality, beautiful jumper that I have seen 0 people wear in public other than me. And maybe that's not a good thing, maybe it is. My point is, video game merch is much like YouTuber merch in the fact that it's very hit or miss. It's very good or very not so good, which equals bad. And there's a lot of examples for us. For example, video game merch is in 2 sort of sets. I like to categorize them. You got the merchandise and the merch. Merchandise is anything from posters, and they're normally quite good. And I prefer merchandise, and there's a lot of reasons to that. For example, this is a poster I got. It's a simple little poster of the outline of Master Chief from Halo Infinite, and I got it just before Halo Infinite released to get me hyped up for the game. Stuff like that, you get what you're buying for, and there's no sort of way of not getting it. I mean, I don't know how much I paid, but it wasn't that much. And then you get other merchandise, like this. My girlfriend got me this. This is a Sergeant Johnson collectible. He's holding his little Spartan laser thing. So this is also pretty cool because it's a collectible, and yeah. Do you remember U2s, like the YouTube thing? I think PewDiePie had one, and Pyrocynical had one, and they're like these figurines. Yeah, these are pretty cool. I like these. So stuff like that, and even Lego. I've seen a lot of like YouTubers, like, or not even YouTubers, games rather, like have Lego like sets and things, and I think that's pretty cool. However, with terms of merchandise, you can also go down the rabbit hole of mugs and pencils and yeah, different stuff like that. And then you get on to the merch, and this is anything from those Sidemen clothes I was talking about, with the gaming equivalent being an overpriced Call of Duty t-shirt that has Ghost face on it. So let's go down this rabbit hole of gaming merch, and let's really see why I personally, and I think anyone with a brain, doesn't like or has clear faults. Okay, so let's have a look at some of this gaming merch right here. I'm on the Call of Duty website, and I'm scrolling through, and let's just have a look at some of the t-shirts and things they offer. Wow, I mean, wow. Okay, that's quite a big how do I put this? A big price there. I mean, that's for that as well. Yeah, that's a bit mad, but it's not all bad. I mean, Call of Duty, they're a massive brand, so I mean, I suppose they've got a bigger fan base to trick here. If you had a smaller fan base, it'd be a lot harder to trick people into, you know, buying crap, pretty much. I mean, Call of Duty has a big fan base, people like me, who will just, you know, buy whatever they see because it's Call of Duty. So with the what, 20 million copies they sell, like, every year of games, probably more, you know, they can afford to be a bit clumsy. But let's have a look at a brand that doesn't have as much of a following. Okay, so I'm on the Halo website right now, and as you can see, things are a lot less pricey, and that some things here are better. So the clothing is still quite, you know, expensive for what you get. However, if you look at like the stuff like the U2s, like I was talking about, these are pretty cool. Okay, I'll give them that. These are pretty cool. And you know, they do sell mugs, which I think is a bit of a mug, but still, I mean, stuff is, it's still alright. I mean, it's Halo, so what you have to remember here is because they have a smaller audience, they can't really afford to accidentally trick people into buying stuff. So you know, they have to be a lot more careful. So this is why this is happening. Let's talk about what I think should happen. Okay, so if I was a big company owner, what would I do with Halo merch? Easy. Okay, get rid of the mug stuff, or at least lower the prices a lot. No one cares. Halo fans don't want mugs. No one really cares. I mean, maybe a one-off is fine if it's like seasonal, but no one cares. The clothing, the prices are insane, but it's clothes, so whatever. Here's what I would do personally, and I just came up with this idea. What about battle scenes? Okay, when I was younger, I used to play with like toy soldiers, and I used to shoot marbles at each other. Instead of that, why don't we have battle like scenes with figurines like showing like a Covenant battle or a Banished battle or the Chief fighting like an alien or something? How goddamn cool would that be? Instead of having a mug, or instead of having Lego, we actually get to put this massive battle on like a shelf or something.
Mind you, these would be a little bit more pricey, I assume, because it takes a lot more art, I guess, to make them, and it's a harder thing to make. However, battle scenes is where it's at, I'm saying, because, you know, fans want this, it's authentic, it's cool, and the color palette's nice, and stuff like that. It would work. I would say it would work. However, I don't see them doing this. So, what can we do about video game merch? Not a lot. It's just pretty mid, like I say, and the stuff that these two brands are offering is pretty mid. However, other things like Fallout and stuff like that, you can find some pretty cool stuff. Because they're not as big of a brand, I think, you know, it's easier to find recognizable and cool stuff. So with companies like that, it's easier. I think the difference lying between video game and YouTuber merch is the fact that video game merch is a lot harder to sell. If you have someone like PewDiePie who's a celebrity and they say limited time, buy this YouTube, you're gonna think, oh god, it's PewDiePie. You know, he's got 100 mil subs, was the most subscribers on YouTube. I've got to buy his stuff. Whereas with a brand like COD, they're always going to have stuff up, and you're not really buying it off anyone, if that makes sense. If you get a t-shirt of Ghost, you know, a picture of Ghost put on a t-shirt, and then you buy it, it's not like you're buying something that the actor of Ghost has, you know, like it's just a t-shirt with Ghost on it, you know what I mean? So it's not got that recognition as a person, but more of a brand. So they need to make things, I think like companies for video games, they need to make things that recognize like actors and voice actors more, and like figurines and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, fans want stuff that can be recognizable, and especially stuff that can be like personalized and made theirs. So if you have a YouTube that's limited time, obviously you're going to want it because it's limited time, and it's of a person. So do that with stuff like, I don't know, main characters, or, you know, like I was saying about battle scenes, stuff that actually makes it feel authentic, I think.
Well, that's just about it for the gaming merch stuff. What do I think of this whole shababble? It's certainly a shababble. I'm not really sure what we could do about this. These are just some of my ideas, and why I think it is a bit of a flop. I mean, it's a bit of a left flop, isn't it? I mean, come on. I mean, things aren't sold for the right prices, and it's just a bit mid, and nothing's really bad, but things are oversold and overpriced, and I wouldn't really say some things are worth it. So that is what I would say, I think, on stuff like this. My personal ideas and stuff. Personally, I think the whole YouTuber route of things and selling merch is far easier, but those are my thoughts. So let me guys what you think in the comments, whether you think this lighting is going to annoy you too much, or my very pale skin, but let me